So do you guys have any idea about Indian polity? Any idea? Answer yes or no. Can you hear my voice? Can you guys hear my voice?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Not audible. So, but okay. So, like, what is Indian polity and how we need to learn the subject? That is very important. Okay, how we need to learn the subject, that is very important. So before going into Indian polity, we need to understand what has to be learned in this subject. Okay, how we will cover this subject. It's very easy to cover this subject. Okay, the first and the foremost thing what we are going to do, because I'll tell you an idea, I'll briefly describe you how we are going to approach this, the entire subject. Okay, so first thing what you have to keep in mind is we don't have to mug up anything. Okay, we won't mug up anything. Only thing what we are going to do, we are going to understand the concept behind the topic. Okay, any topic we are taking, we will try to understand the concept, and gradually things will, you will understand. Like for example, any article we are dealing with, you will gradually settle down with that article if you know the concept well. Okay, so first thing in Indian polity is what we are going to do. We are going to do certain introductory topic. Just wait a minute. Certain introductory topic. Just wait a minute. What happened? What we are going to do? We are going to do introduction of Indian polity. That is the first thing we are going to do, and we will take approximately 3 classes to cover this topic. Okay, 3 classes, because introduction will be huge, and that will set the basis for rest of the topic. 3 classes or 3 hours you can. Then what we are going to do? Then we are going to do the preamble. Okay, then we will do part 1 of the constitution, that is union and its territories. Okay, this is the part 1 of the constitution, union and its territory. Then we are going to do part 2 of the constitution, that is citizenship. How to get the citizenship, how to become an Indian citizen. Okay, and how we can lose our citizenship. Then we are going to do part 3 of Indian constitution, that is fundamental right. Then we will do part 4, that is DPSP, that is directive principle of. Hear my voice now?
Yes, sir.
So just wait a minute. We'll start the things again. Okay, just give me a moment. Okay, just give me a moment. I'll start the things again. In Indian polity, what we can do is we can divide Indian polity into multiple parts. Okay, am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
So the first thing what we are going to do, we are going to do the introductory part of Indian polity. This is the first thing what we are going to do, and we will take approximately 3 hours to cover this topic, to cover the introductory part of Indian. Okay, then we are going to deal with the preamble. Then we are going to deal with the preamble of Indian Constitution. Okay, the next thing we will be doing is part 1 of the Constitution, that is union and its territories. For example, India and its state. For example, we will learn India as a whole, and we will also deal with various states of India. That is like Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, all the states we will be covering. Then what we will do, we will talk about the citizenship, how a person can get Indian citizenship, how a person can lose its Indian citizenship. So we will be doing citizenship. And the third thing we are going to do is fundamental rights. After that, we will be doing DPSP, directive principles of state policy, union, and various miscellaneous topics. If you cover this way, the entire topic of Indian polity will be covered and nothing will be left. Okay, so you don't have to worry. Whatever I am teaching, you just learn that. Apart from that, nothing will come in your exam. I assure you that with 100% guarantee. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let us move to Indian polity. Now we'll start from here. Polity. Now, what do you think is the most important thing for governing a country like India? What is the most important thing for governing a country in India? What is it?
A good diplomatical relationship between countries.
Diplomatic relationship between countries. That is the most important thing.
Government.
No, not exactly. What is the most important thing? What is the most important thing for governing a country like India? What is the
Rules
most
and regulations.
Rules and regulations. Okay, in order to govern any country, rules and regulations are very much important. You are absolutely right. Sonam has also answered this, and many people have answered. Okay, rules and regulations for governing a country like India. For example, if this is India, okay, the rules and regulations are very much important. Now, where is this rules and regulations written?
Our constitution.
Constitution. So directly the rules and regulations are mentioned in the constitution. So you can say that constitution is the most important thing for governing a country.
Yes.
Directly you can say, no, constitution
Yes, sir.
contains rules and regulation. So constitution is most important thing for governing a country.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Now if somebody ask you why constitution is important, if
Because it
somebody
has rules and regulations.
it has rules and regulation, you will say that that's why constitution is important. For example, now I'll give you another
It's
point.
also the blueprint of how a country will govern.
No. I'll ask one question to you. Okay, I'll ask one question to you. You have absolutely brilliantly quoted that constitution contains rules and regulations. That is why constitution is important. Okay, now give me an answer. For example, you have taken a notebook. You have taken a book. Okay, in this rules and regulations are written. In this rules and regulation are written. Okay, and on other hand, you are having a constitution. On other hand, you are having a constitution which also consists of rules and regulation. Now, just tell me which one is important.
A constitution.
You only told me that anything with rules and regulation is important. See, obviously, constitution is important. Constitution is important because it is legally accepted by the entire nation. Got it?
Yes.
Anything with rules and regulation is not acceptable. For example, you are writing some rules and making some rules for entire country. Nobody is going to listen to that rules and regulations, and nobody is going to abide by those rules and regulations. Constitution is considered as most important part of our nation, or most important thing in our nation, because it consists of rules and regulations, and the entire nation has agreed that we will abide with this constitution. Okay, and this constitution is formed by legal law. Okay, so that is why constitution is important. So you are clear with one thing, right? The first thing you are clear here is constitution consists of certain rules and regulation. Okay, now constitution is important because it's a document which has certain legal sanctity, or it is accepted by everyone. Clear? So can we start Indian polity with your permission?
Yes, sir.
So write down polity and try give the subheading constitution. Constitution. We'll start from basics. Okay, write down. It's a legal document, or it's a document. Write down. It's a document. It's a document which enjoys It's a document which enjoys special legal sanctity. Legal sanctity. That means it is created by the legal process, or it is created by the law of the land. You can write in bracket, it is created by legal process. So one thing you are very much clear. So we are having a constitution. Okay. And this constitution is a document. Give emphasis to each words. Okay. Because we are going to derive a lot of stuffs from these words. So it is a document which enjoys certain legal sanctity or certain legal powers. Okay, because it is created by a legal process or the law of the land. Okay, it enjoys certain legal powers. Clear? Because it's created by legal process. Clear? This much is clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now anyone repeat this? Whatever I have told you, can you repeat this? Anyone online who can unmute themselves? Just tell me in your own word, what is constitution?
Constitution, it's a document which enjoys special legal sanctity. It is created by legal process.
Like legal sanctity means legal powers. It has certain legal powers. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, if I ask you, now you have understood constitution is a document that has some legal powers. Now, if I ask you, what does this document consist of? One thing you have told me that it has certain rules and regulation. You have told me that one thing you have told me is that it consists of certain rules and regulation. Apart from this, what does the constitution consist of?
All right.
Apart from that, rights, I agree. Okay. Now listen, if I say constitution consists of certain principles and functions. Now listen to each and every word very carefully. Certain principles and functions of organs of state. Would you agree to it? Don't agree. Because if you agree to it, how will I explain, right? Tell me, what do you have understood from this?
Sir, it has functions because it has some roles to perform, and it. So another what you said. What was it? What was it, sir? So it has,
it
so yes, it does has the organ of the government, like legislature, executive, and the judiciary.
Mhm.
Like, and then they have to work. They are also known as the horizontal distribution of power, because one organ cannot perform independently, because they check upon each other functions. So it has a lot of function and principles to perform. Sorry, functions and organs.
You have complicated everything.
Okay, sir. I hope you are there to solve the complication.
Have you been to southern part of India?
Southern, sir, not much.
Which state you have been to southern part?
Southern, sir, sir, Kerala.
Kerala you have been. Have you had sambar?
Yes, sir.
Like in that sambar, when you make no sambar with idli, it's a curry there. You
Yes,
put
sir.
all the vegetables,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
like your answer was also in a similar manner. You have mixed the now. See, if you learn like this, no, I am not denying that you said it rightly or wrongly, but I'm saying that it was very complicated.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
Now I'll make it simple for you. Just forget everything what I have said. Now understand. Now listen. Whenever we are learning polity, when we use the term state, whenever we are learning polity as a subject, whenever we are learning polity, when we use this term state, 90% of the time it will be referring to it country or nation. Okay, whenever we are doing the subject polity, country, this means state will refer to India. Otherwise, if I am referring to Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Maharashtra, I would specify I'm talking about particular states of India. Okay,
Yes,
is
sir.
it clear? Okay,
Yes.
whenever I'm using the term state, I'm referring to a country or the nation India. Okay, now understand this state would have various organs, like the entire state would have various organs. Okay, now these organs would have different roles to play. Okay, this state would have different organs, various institutions would be there in a particular country. For example, if you are talking about India, in India there would be various institutions, various organs which have different role to play. Okay, now understand. Now don't think that for example I'm complicating the things. Just understand the basics, because I'll tell you all these things in a while. Okay, now this state would have various organs, various institutions under. Now what does constitution tells us? Constitution tells us, like, for example, there are three organs, A, B, C. Now constitution will tell us on what principles these organs of state should function. On what principles, what should be the principles that A, which is an organ of state, B, which is an organ of state, C, which is an organ of state, on what principles they are working, and what should be their function, clear? So state, it indirectly means that state has various organs. For example, I have taken three organs, A, B, C, and constitution will tell us on what principles A should function, on what should be the principles for B, and what should be the principles of C, and what should be their functions. Because constitution will tell you can do this, you cannot do this. Somehow they are creating a restriction. The constitution is creating a restriction on the organ of state. Clear or not clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How many of you are not clear with it? Everyone is clear.
Yes,
If
sir.
you are not clear, just listen. For example, just if there is a state, or what you call it as a country. Okay, I have to write it because when I write it here, margin. Okay. If there is a state or country, suppose it's India, and India has, suppose, various organs. This state has various organs, A, B, and C. So constitution defines on what principles A should function, what are the principles of A, on what principles B should function, what principles C should function, and constitution will also tell about their functions. Clear? So anything to look into, for example, A needs to look into anything regarding their principles and functions, they will look into the constitution. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So what we have learned till now, constitution is the most important document of this nation because it has certain legal sanctity. It consists of principles and function. It consists of principles and functions of organs of the state. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So these what you have written till now. It is a document which enjoys legal sanctity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right on the next point. It contains the principle and function. It contains the principles and function of the organs. It contains the principles and functions of the organs of government of a state. It contains the principles and function of the organs of the government of a state, or you can say organs of the state. It contains principles and functions of the organs of a state. Now, look here very carefully, because now I am going to use it for further explanation of the topic. Now, we have done constitution and we have read that it is the most important document of this country. Most important document of the country. Okay. It is the most important document of the country because this document has some legal sanctity. That is, it has certain legal powers because it is created by law of land. Okay. That I'm not writing. Second thing, what does this document? It consists of principles and functions of organs of state. It consists of principles and functions of organs of state. Are you clear with this? Are you clear with this? Absolutely. Anybody having any doubt? Because we are going to make it more complicated. Now, I told you what is the state here referring to. Is it referring to Sikkim, Meghalaya, all those Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, or is it referring to something else? What is state referring here?
The country.
It is referring to the country. That means it's referring to India. Agreed?
Yes.
It is referring to India and it is referring to nation. Okay. Now, if I ask you, or if somebody asks you, what are elements of state? What are elements of state? What will be your answer? What are elements of state? Tell. Arey, you can answer wrongly. I don't mind. I want you to give wrong answer. Revat says population. Good. Population is one of the element, right? Further element. Territory is one of the element. Okay, agreed. Legislation is not an element, Saroj.
Border.
I could not hear you, dear.
Border.
No. Reva says government. Reva has answered 3 elements correctly. One more is left. Demography is not the correct answer. Reva has answered all the 4 things. Okay. Now, this state has 4 elements. Now, just listen. Just listen very carefully. Constitution is the most important document of the country. It has certain legal sanctity. That means legal powers. And it defines principles and functions of organs of state. Now we are going to pick this word state. This state has 4 elements. Now I'm going to switch the slide. State has 4 elements. Okay. Now, what are the 4 elements of state? Number 1, the first element. For example, if this is the state I am talking about, or country I am talking about, the first element is definitely any country should have a territory. Right? Territory. That is the first element. From north to extreme south, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, from the borders of Rajasthan to the northeastern border. Not exactly the border. Somebody answered it border, but not exactly. Okay. Not exactly the borders. All the entire territory, of India, is the part of state. Agrees? The first element is territory. Are you clear with it?
Yes, sir.
The first element is territory. Now, the second element, definitely Revaj, Sanki, all Selena, all these people will be residing in this territory. Okay, you all will be residing in this territory. Okay, you all will be residing in this territory. So second element of the state is population. Second element of the state is population. Okay, so the first element of the state is territory. I'll write it here. The second element of the state is population. Okay, clear with it?
Yes.
You're clear with the second element of the state?
Yes, sir.
Now, I'll tell you one more thing. Now, definitely, if you are left over the territory of India, like all those people who are in this class are left over the territory of India and you are asked to leave the way you want, definitely you will involve yourself in tussles. Okay, definitely you will get involved in yourselves in tussles. So there should be 1 or 2 people, or there should be a group of people to govern you. Agreed? So the third element of state is government. Out of this population, there should be key people to govern you. So the third element of state is government. Okay. Now, the fourth element of the state is what is the fourth element of state? Revaj has answered already. I have given already the answer. It is sovereignty. It is sovereignty. Sovereignty simply means freedom. Sovereignty simply means freedom. Okay, I'll further elaborate it later. So have you understood the four elements of the state? The first element of state is territory. Okay, the territory of our nation. The second element of state is the population. The population which is residing in the state. The third element is government. The fourth element is sovereignty. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Clear? So write down four elements of state or nation. Four elements of state or nation. Number one, territory. Put a hyphen and write down land that comes under a state. Land that comes under a state. Okay. Land that comes under a state, or land that is acquired by a state. Okay. This is territory. For example, if you see the example of India, we have so many areas from Maharashtra, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Sikkim, Meghalaya. All these areas comes under, like these territories comes under India. So that is the first thing, land that comes under a state. Suppose tomorrow we are going to have a war with Pakistan and we acquire Lahore and Karachi. Okay, we acquire Lahore and Karachi, and that will be also the part of state if we acquire any territory. So land that comes under a state, or that land that is acquired by a state, it is part of territory. You are clear with territory? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now write down population. Put a hyphen and write. It is the number of people. It is number of people residing in a particular state. It is number of people residing in a particular state. That is population. Now we are clear with two elements of state. That is state. We are clear with two elements. The first element was territory. Okay, very good. The second element was population. That is also good enough. Now, the third element is government. Now, when I ask, or when I tell you, like the third element is government, how many types of government are there? How many types of government are there in a state, or how many types of government are there in this country called as India? Three. Tell me.
Judiciary, legislative, and
No, you are still hanging in judiciary, legislature. That is not the types of government here. Ami says Lok Sabha, no. Reva says democratic, no. How many types of government are there in this country? How many types? Saroj says union, central, state, and local. Somebody has answered it. One of you has answered it. Okay, 2, 3. Okay, I'll tell you. See, these are very basic things, and these are very important things. See, once you complete this entire polity, you will be, I'll make you so capable that you will be able to argue with anyone on the grounds of the constitution, or you will be able to argue with anyone on the grounds of logical reason. Rather than just putting your words forward, you will be able to substantially argue with them. Okay, so that I'll make sure that you are capable of. So just attend all the classes, just understand the concept, and if you are having any doubt, feel free to ask. Okay, see, there are three types of government. Number one, union government. Number one is union government, or which you call as center government, which governs the entire country. For example, BJP NDA government is ruling. Modi ji is the prime minister, so there is union government. Okay, which governs the entire country. I'll write it here. Governs entire country. Okay, it's not coming here. Okay, which governs entire country. Then you have state government. For example, state government of Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Sikkim. Okay, Sikkim, Meghalaya, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh. All those state governments are there. Okay, so union government for the entire country, state government, okay, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Sikkim, Uttar Pradesh. You understood these two types of government? Understood?
yes.
Yes, sir.
Now there is a third type of government called as local self-government. Now what is this local self-government? I'll tell you. This is the third tier of government in a country. The first tier of government is this one, union government. This is called the first tier of government. State government is the second tier of government, and local self-government is the third tier of government. Okay, now this is, have you heard about panchayat?
Yes, sir.
Have you heard about municipality?
Yes, sir.
So these are part of the local self-government, or the third tier. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Write down government can be divided into three types. Government can be divided into three types. Union government or central government, union government or central government, which governs the entire country. Union government or central government, which governs the entire country. Number two, state government, which governs particular states of India. State government, which governs particular state of India. For example, state government of Tamil Nadu, Kerala, state government of Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Sikkim, Uttar Pradesh. You can write example. State government of Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Sikkim, Uttar Pradesh. You can write any example of you. Write down third, local self-government. It is the third tier of government. It includes panchayat and municipality. Clear? Written?
Yes, sir.
Have you written? Can anybody tell me about the three elements of state? Can anybody tell me about the three elements of state? Repeat. Tell. I'm waiting for your answer.
So
Population, government, and your voice is not clear.
Territory.
Territory. What are the three types of government?
Union state.
Union state and
Local self-government.
what is union state and local self-government? Okay. Now the fourth element is a very interesting element. You need to understand about it. I'll write it here only. The fourth element is sovereignty. Sovereignty simply means, usually if I tell you that you are a sovereign person, that means you are having certain freedom. Okay, freedom. Now in polities term, what do you mean by sovereignty? It simply means supreme decision making power. Okay, it simply means the nation is absolutely free to make any decision or to take any. Okay, now understand. Okay, the fourth element of state is sovereignty, that is supreme decision making power. Okay, you can make any decision without any pressure. Okay, now have you understood what sovereignty is? It's a supreme decision making power. You can, for example, you are a sovereign person. If you want to go for a movie late night, you are absolutely free to go for a movie. If you want to have a special food that is as per your liking, you are a sovereign person, you can absolutely have that special food. And if you want to make a special friend in your life, you can make, but you are restricted by the powers of your parents as well. That is the concept. Okay, so you have to understand all this. Sovereignty, you understand, that is supreme decision making power. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Now just tell me. I'll share one important story with. I was teaching in one of the offline classes. Okay, one of the offline classes I was teaching in day, and the classes was full. Like more than 400 to 500 students were there, and the polities 450 students around were there, and it was a polities class. So like most of the syllabus was over. Like I was teaching the last part of polity, and there was a guy in the class. He was looking at his phone constantly. So what I did, and he's very, otherwise I maintain a very friendly relation with my student. So I told him, his name was Sonu. I told him, Sonu, give me your phone. You're not able to focus. I took his phone. And without saying a word, he gave me his phone. I kept the phone on the podium, and after some time, his phone started vibrating. And on the true when someone calls, someone calls you, the contact appears on the screen. No, so it was written Supreme Court. So I told him that you are getting a call from Supreme Court. Who is calling you from Supreme Court? So everybody started laughing. So he told me that after learning the polity, he has kept his father's name as Supreme Court and saved his father's name as Supreme Court in the court. So see, it is a fun subject. If you take it as a burden, if you take it as burden, it will be a burden throughout your life. If you enjoy the subject, you will be able to argue with anyone. But don't use article to argue with your parents. They can just kick you out of the house. Then for that I won't be responsible. Anyways, sovereignty is the supreme decision making power. There are two types of sovereignty. Samir says we also keep wife's name as home minister. That is absolutely good. Okay. Sovereignty, supreme decision making power. Okay. Now there are two types of sovereignty: internal sovereignty and external sovereignty. These are the two types of sovereignty. Okay, internal sovereignty and external. Now, anyways, so it is a supreme decision making power. Now, what do you mean by internal sovereignty and what do you mean by external sovereignty? Please tell. Now you can tell one more thing. Sir, we are giving money to the institution to learn from you and you are asking us questions, no? You have to tell. But you, no idea. Amir says no idea. Batao bhai, somebody was telling, no, she will link everything to legislative, executive. Tell what is internal sovereignty and external sovereignty. Where is that person?
So, internal sovereignty means within the country, external means out of the country.
Very good, very good. See, internal sovereignty means the nation can make any law. The nation can make any law within the country. The nation can make with any law within the country without any external pressure. Without any external pressure. Simple. The nation can make any law within the country. The nation can make any law within the country without any external pressure or any pressure. That is internal sovereignty. That means we as a nation is very much free or very much free to take any decision within our clear internal sovereignty.
Yes, sir.
Now, what do you mean by external sovereignty? For example, we are signing a treaty with Russia. We are signing an agreement with Russia. India is signing an agreement with Russia. Okay. India is signing an agreement with Russia. Okay. So USA cannot stop us and tell, no, you cannot sign an agreement with Russia because we are having a tussle with Russia. No. We are not bound to listen to USA. It's our wish that we are listening to USA or not. For example, if India is helping Ukraine, if India is helping Ukraine with something and Russia says, no, India cannot help Ukraine, we will say, who are you? Who are you to stop us? Because we are an externally sovereign country. We can make our decision. We don't need anyone to stop us from doing anything. So on international fronts, we are able to free to take our decisions. Nobody can stop us from taking any. So internally also we are free country, or externally also we are free country. For example, if you understand the international politics, I'll take you to the international politics also. See, if you understand international politics, USA is a major power. On other hand, Russia is a major power. Okay. Now Russia is having a war with Ukraine. Now what Russia, now do you know why Russia is having this war with Ukraine? Do you know it? Why Russia is having this war with Ukraine?
Ukraine wants to be a part of the NATO.
Ukraine wants to be part of NATO. Okay. What is NATO? Any other answers? He correctly answered. Any other answer?
North Atlantic Treaty Organization.
North Atlantic Treaty Organizations. Very good. See, I'll tell you something. See, after the Second World War, Second World War ended in 1945. So 1939 to 1945, there was Second World War. Okay, 1939 to 1945, there was Second World. After Second World War, there were two major powers in the world. Okay, there were two major powers in the world after the Second World War. I'll write it here. Second World War. Okay, 1939 to 1945. Okay, after this war ended, you don't have to write all these things because it's not part of polity, but I'm explaining you the concept. You will understand the international politics much easier. Okay, two powers. The first power was USA and the second power was USSR, which is now Russia. Okay, so obviously USA wanted lot of countries to their side. Okay, USA wanted lot of countries with them. So they made an organization, or they made a group called as NATO. North Atlantic Treaty Organization. This is NATO. Okay, so all those countries supporting USA joined this group. Okay, and USA was heading this group, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. So NATO is that, if you call NATO, it is USA and its allies, or you can call USA and its friends have formed NATO. On other hand, USSR also formed an organization. What was the organization's name? Tell me.
Soviet Union.
No. Soviet Union is the other name given to USSR. What was the organization they formed? It was Warsaw Pact.
Oh.
It was Warsaw Pact. Now, where is this Warsaw?
Poland.
It is in Poland. Okay, it is in Poland. Okay, so basically all those friends of USSR met in Warsaw at Poland and they signed an agreement. So all those countries who were supporting USSR at that time came to Warsaw, which is in Poland, and they signed an agreement called as Warsaw Pact. So their organization's name was Warsaw. Now, this happened in 1939 to 1945. You had the World War. After World War, USA and its friends formed what? NATO. That is North Atlantic Treaty organizing. Counter to that, USSR formed Warsaw Pact. Okay, Warsaw Pact. See, this is not having any relevance with your polity syllabus. This has relevance with your international relations syllabus. But I'm explaining you so that you also understand what is going around the world and why it is. Now, understand what happened. What exactly happened is, as time passed, in 1991, USSR got disintegrated. And USSR became Russia. Okay, Russia. USSR fragmented itself into various other countries. Now, the relevance of Warsaw Pact was over because USSR was not there. Now, what happened? There is a country near Russia now. Now, USSR is lost. No relevance to USSR. Now, here Russia is there. And there is a country near Russia, which is Ukraine. Okay. Now, all the countries, most of the countries, you cannot say all, most of the countries surrounding Russia are supporting Russia. For example, be it Poland, be it any country, Czechoslovakia, they have an allegiance to Russia. They are friends of Russia. But this Ukraine, which is very close to Russia, is a very good friend of US. Okay. Now, what did USA tell Ukraine? USA told Ukraine, okay, USA told Ukraine, do one thing. You are my dear friend. You join my group NATO. Okay, USA told Ukraine, you are a very good friend of mine. You join the group NATO. Now, what if Ukraine joins the NATO? The major problem if Ukraine joins the NATO, see, NATO will give weapons to Ukraine. NATO has an army which can be stationed here. Indirectly, USA's army can use the land of Ukraine, and which is a very worrying sign for Russia. Very worrying sign for Russia because Ukraine's land can be used against Russia. So Russia told Ukraine, dear Ukraine, don't join NATO. Let us reside peacefully. Don't join NATO. But on other hand, USA was, nahi, you join. If Russia does something, I'll take care of it. So Mr. Vladimir Putin, one of the most powerful president of the world, attacked Ukraine. Now, what did USA say? It's your fight. You deal with it. I'm not in. Okay. So USA provoked Ukraine to join NATO. Okay. Now, you understood this concept?
Yes, sir.
Everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See. Now understand. Now what, like, India is a very good friend of Russia. Okay. India is a very good friend of Russia. Now India, what does India do? India purchases lot of oil from Russia. Oil and natural gas. Okay. And Russia is, since India's a very good friend, Russia is India's very good friend. Russia gives this oil and natural gas at a comparatively lower price what it gives to other countries. So India was enjoying this price reduction. Okay, India was enjoying this price reduction. Now, Europe and USA had a problem with it. The entire Europe and USA had a problem with India because these countries, Europe and USA, were supporting Ukraine. They were saying, these European people and USA's diplomats were saying, if India is buying oil from if India is buying oil from Russia and natural gas from Russia, obviously we are paying some money. Okay, we are paying some money to them, and that means they are using this money against the war against Ukraine. So they are saying India is indirectly funding the war. That means if we are purchasing oil and natural gas from Russia, we are giving some money to Russia. That means Russia is using that money against the war against Ukraine, So Europe and USA said that India should not purchase oil from Russia. So you understood this concept, this much you understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is it getting complicated?
No, sir.
No, sir.
See, this is part of international politics. You don't have to see it from the Indian perspective. It's not part of your syllabus right now, but just I explained. Now, Europe and USA pointed out India should not buy oil from Russia. Now, when, like Amir rightly said, when S. Jaishankar, India's foreign minister, he was giving a media interview. At that time, one of the media person highlighted. The media person said, okay, Europe and USA are constantly saying that India is funding the war against Ukraine. So S. Jaishankar asked how we are funding the war against Ukraine. So the media person said that India is directly purchasing oil and natural gas from Russia. That means you are giving Russia money and Russia is using that money against war against Ukraine. S. Jaishankar said that. His reply was very awesome reply. Amir rightly said, he said, Europe's problem is the world's problem. Chimila has asked, right?
Hello?
Chimila has asked,
Hello.
you want to ask some question?
Hello.
You want to ask some question? Am I audible clearly?
Yes, sir, you are.
Yes, sir.
Now, S. Jaishankar gave a beautiful answer. S. Jaishankar said, see, Europe's problem is the world's problem, but the world's problem is not Europe's problem. Like, for example, if Europe is having any problem with any country, the world should take care of it. The world should indulge in it. But if any country is having any problem, the Europe will not indulge with. So, S. Jaishankar said, Europe is having a problem with Russia. That means it has to be the world's problem. India has to indulge in it. But if India has any problem, Europe will never indulge in it. This was the answer of S. Jaishankar. He is one of the powerful diplomat of the country. Okay, so he answered it beautifully, and the media person had no other answer. And one more thing he answered is, I'll tell this in Hindi. He said, अगर मुझे कोई सामान खरीदना है, if I have to buy something, I'll go with a bag into the market. मैं market में एक bag लेकर निकलता हूँ. If I'm getting something cheaper, I'll buy that from that person. मुझे कुछ सस्ते में मिल रहा है तो I'll buy from that person. For example, if I want oil from the market, I will explore around, in and around. If Russia is providing me cheap oil at a cheaper price, and natural gas at a cheaper price, I'll buy from Russia. I won't hesitate to buy. Okay, so whoever is providing me oil and natural gas at cheaper price is my friend. So this was S. Jaishankar's answer. You understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
My question is, I've explained you all this scenario, North Atlantic Treaty, Warsaw Pact. My question is, why could Mr. S. Jaishankar, External Affairs Minister, Foreign Minister of India, could answer this, that India will do whatever they want. India will buy oil and natural gas from Russia. Who the hell are you to stop us? Why could S. Jaishankar say that?
Because India took sovereign decisions.
Yes, because India is an externally sovereign country. Nobody can impose their decisions on us. Nobody can force decisions on us. Nobody can stop us from doing anything because we are a sovereign. Got the point clear?
Yes, sir.
Write down sovereignty. It simply means supreme decision-making power. So now I'll answer your question in 1 minute after completing this. Okay? It simply means supreme decision-making power. India enjoys internal sovereignty as well as external sovereignty. India enjoys internal sovereignty as well as external sovereignty. Write down internal sovereignty. India can take any decision or create any law. India can take any decision or create any law which would be binding on every individual and institution. And this can be done without any interference. That means India as a country, internal sovereignty means India can make laws. India can take any decision. So it would be binding on people of this country, all the people. It would be binding. Okay, it would be binding on every institutions of this country. It would be binding on all the institutions of this country. Okay, laws and decision India can make, which would be binding on people and institution of this country. Okay, and this can be done without any interference. Okay, now have you understood this?
Yes, sir.
Write down external sovereignty. India can take any foreign decision. Or can have independent foreign policy without any external pressure. Okay, now I have seen your question. I'll answer it. Before that, let me sum up till here. So what we have done, because if I answer you in between, because your question is something different, if I answer you, you will lose the continuity. Okay, so what we have learned till now, constitution. We have learned constitution. Okay, constitution is a legal document. Okay, and in this document, constitution is a legal document, and in this document, what it consists of? It consists of principles and functions. It consists of principles and functions of organs of state. Okay, state here means country, or you can tell it as nation, or there are 4 elements of state. State has 4 elements. 4 state elements are there. Okay, number 1 is territory. Number 2 is population. Number 3 is government. Okay, number 3, government can be divided into 3 parts: union government, state government, local self government, that is municipalities and panchayat, And sovereignty, that is supreme decision making power. That is, you have two types of sovereignty: internal sovereignty as well as external sovereignty. That means India can make any laws or take any decisions within the country without any interference, and we can conduct our foreign relation and take any external decision without any interference. Clear? Is this much clear? Right?
Yes, sir.
Now, Sonam has asked a very intelligent and a very good question, asking just, I'll repeat her question, asking just out of curiosity, if India is getting oil in less price, then why oil prices are getting high every time? Now, Sonam, I'll give you an answer to that. See, every day, Sonam, every day there is fluctuation in price of crude oil that we get from international every day. Okay, for example, if it is $100 billion for one barrel, for example, I'm stating an example, $100 billion for one barrel, tomorrow it can be 200 billion, day after it can be 150 billion. So there is fluctuations in the prices of oil that we get from international market, and it happens every day. Okay, for example, if India depends on oil, like India depends on various countries for oil. For example, one of the country is Russia. The other country is OPEC countries. Have you heard about OPEC country? Have you heard about OPEC?
Yes.
No, you haven't heard?
Yes, sir.
OPEC. It is Organization of Petroleum Exporting Country. Okay. Those countries, Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. Okay. So these are OPEC countries. There are many countries of Middle East, Gulf countries, USA, which are part of OPEC. Okay. So India gets oil from OPEC countries, Russia. India gets petrol, crude oil from Gulf countries. A lot of countries India gets oil. Okay. So now clear. Now understand one thing. Middle East also. Now understand. For example, now let us erase this. Now I'll move. For example, India is here. India is getting some oil from OPEC. Listen carefully, okay? Some oil from Russia, okay? Some oil from Gulf countries. I'll write almost all countries, few Gulf countries. Some oil from some countries which will come under OPEC's Middle East countries. Okay. So India has various sources of oil. Apart from this, some oil is drudged in India, Bombay High, Reliance refineries. Some oil is drudged in India. Okay. Now, for example, Russia has reduced the price of oil they are giving to India. Russia has reduced price of oil giving to India. Comparatively to other, India has got oil from Russia at lesser. Clear? You have understood. Sonam, have you understood this scenario? It would be great if you can unmute yourself. Have you understood the scenario? Because you have asked a very intelligent question.
Yes, sir.
Sonam, okay. Have you understood this scenario? Like OPEC, the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, we take oil. Middle East countries, we take oil. Yes, we drudge some oil from India. Now, for example, Sonam, you are from which state?
Sikkim.
Okay. Do you ride any bike or any car?
Yes, sir.
Do you have license for it?
Yes, sir.
So you are from Sikkim. Now, Sonam drives her car. Okay. Sonam drives her car on the street of Sikkim. Okay. Streets matlab roads of Sikkim. Okay. Pata chale kal you are riding it on the streets of Sikkim. And okay. Now, you are riding your car on the roads of Sikkim. Suddenly, you run out of petrol. Okay, you run out of petrol. What will you do, Sonam?
Go to a gas station.
Goes to a gas station. Okay. Then after that, what will you tell him?
I'll tell the amount.
Tell. What will you tell? Tell the amount of?
The amount that the guy has to fill my gas.
Okay, the amount of petrol he has to fill in the petrol tank, right?
Yes, sir.
Apart from that, anything you would tell him? Okay. Now, would you tell him कि भैया Russia का petrol डाल दो because वो सस्ता है? Would you tell him please put the Russian petrol because it's cheaper?
No, I won't.
You won't know. You know Russian petrol is cheaper. India has got crude oil from Russia at a cheaper price. Put the Russian petrol in my petrol tank. Okay. Or the other thing what you can tell him is, see, you are now there is a guy who is at the gas station. You are telling him, bhaiya, you put the Russian petrol because it's cheaper. Okay. Then he says, Madam, Russian petrol, I don't have Russian petrol. Madam, Russian petrol nahi hai. Then other thing you are telling him is, do one thing. The petrol which is drudged in India, for example, the petrol which is drudged in Bombay High, does not cost much because you don't have to pay much taxes. Import taxes you don't have to pay. So put the petrol which is drudged in India, it is much cheaper. So what he would say, Madam, how would I differentiate the petrol? Right?
Yes.
If he would have been so much studious or intelligent enough, he would not have been like standing in a gas station, right? That's also one of. So see, getting petrol at a reduced price from one of the country, the government cannot take immediate steps to reduce the price of petrol. But because if we are taking petrol from Russia at a cheaper price, we are paying highly to OPEC and Gulf countries for the petrol. And this fluctuation is happening daily. This fluctuation is happening daily in our country or daily in the international market, but regularly the government is not changing the price. Okay. So like one day, yes, does the government protect the price? Amir has asked, yes, does the government protect the price against inflation in the market? Definitely. See, for example, you are from international market, for example, 100 rupees 1 liter petrol we are getting in the month of Feb, for example, but in the month of March we are getting at 200 rupees. So does the government immediately change the price? No, government waits कि भाई there can be fluctuations, but I should not immediately change the price. So when the prices goes up, government takes the hit. When the prices goes down, government tries to recover from. Got the point, Sonam. Now after listening, Sonam has gone somewhere to buy the pet. Sonam, are you there? Yes, Sonam has answered. Okay. Now, now let us move further. We have gone in bit international today. Let us come back to India. That is essence. Okay. Constitution. We have done. What is constitution? We have done 4 elements of state. Okay. Now, first element was territory. Now you would answer. Second element was population. Third element was government. Fourth element was sovereignty. Now, let me come back to the initial definition. Constitution, listen very carefully, Anand, is a legal document. I don't have any doubt, and you should not have any doubt. It's a legal document. It consists of principles and functions of organs of state. Are you clear with this? It consists of principles and functions of organs of state. Everyone is clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Now, tell me, state has 4 elements. You are also clear with this. State has 4 elements. Right? You are clear with this?
Yes.
Now, my question is, when I told you about organs of state, I told there are like organs you can consider A, B, C, right? And the constitution defines the functions of these organs and principles of these organs. Now, my question is, what are the organs of state? What is this AB? What are the organs of state?
Legislative, executive.
Finally, it has come, huh? And I was thinking you won't answer this. I was waiting for your answer only. What are the organs of state?
Legislative, executive, judiciary.
Yes. What's your name?
My name is Chimila.
Okay, legislative, executive, and judicial. These are the organs of state. Legislative, executive, and judicial. Okay, these are the organs of state. Now you are clear. So the constitution directly tells what is the principles on which legislative should work. What are the principles on which through executive should work? What are the principles through which judiciary should work? And these are the principles of legislative, executive, and judiciary. And also it tells us about what is the function of legislative, executive, and judiciary. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Clear? Yeah. This is what it is telling now. Principles and functions of organs of state. State, we are clear. State, we are having 4 elements: territory, population, government, and sovereignty. What are the organs? Organs are legislative, executive, and judiciary. So please write down. Organs of state are legislative, executive, and judiciary. Organs of state are legislative, executive, and judiciary. Clear? Organs of state are legislative, executive, and judiciary. Anybody having any doubt till now? Any doubt?
No.
No doubt. Now, organs of state. Number 1, legislative. Number 2, executive. Number 3, judiciary. Now my question is, what is the function of legislative? What is the function of? Yes, legislative. You have attended my class, right?
No,
or
sir.
not? You have not attended my class. I took a one class. You are answering it correctly. Good. The function of legislature is to make laws for the country. Not exactly policy making. It is to make the laws for the country. Okay. So what is legislature? In our country, for example, if you take the example of India, what is legislature? Very, very good. The legislature is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So the legislature has the responsibility of making laws for the country. And if I ask you how the laws are made, if I want to tell you like how the laws are made, it is very simple. I'll tell you how. just for your understanding, I'm telling so that you have all your bases covered. For example, if a law is to be made, for example, tell me any subject on which you want a law. Tell me any subject on which you want a law.
Mathematics.
What? Mathematics? I could not hear you, dear. Once more. Gay marriage. Okay, you want a law on gay marriage. Oh, controversial laws, huh? Okay. You want a law on gay marriage. Okay, no issues. I truly respect your. For example, if you want a law on this subject, see, firstly, a bill has to be drafted. A bill has to be drafted. So, what is a bill? A bill is something in which everything will be written, like the age of marriage, all those information will be given. Then this bill has to be presented in Lok Sabha. Okay, this bill has to be presented in Lok Sabha. Then it has to be passed by a majority there. For example, we select class monitors, no? So those who get somebody, for example, I'll write in the next page. For example, a bill will be drafted. Bill will be drafted. For example, bill for gay marriage. Okay, and in this, all those information about this law would be given. All those information like what would be the age, what are the protocols to be followed, how will you register marriage, all those information would be given. Okay, then this bill would be presented in Lok Sabha or any house. You can present it in Rajya Sabha also first. So bill will be presented in Lok Sabha. Then from there, once the bill is passed, it will go to Rajya Sabha. It will go to Rajya Sabha. From once the bill is passed from there, and it will be sent to the Honorable President of India. Bill will be sent to the Honorable President of India. So the bill is firstly drafted. A rough draft of the bill is created. It will be presented in Lok Sabha. It would be passed from there by a majority. Then it would be presented in Rajya Sabha. Then it would be passed from there by another majority. Then it would be given to the Honorable President of India. When the President of India signs the bill or gives assent that I am declaring I am okay with this bill, the bill would become act, and this act is law. Okay, so the function of law making in the country lies with legislature, that is Lok Sabha and Rajya. Clear? So if you have to make a law on any X subject, first thing what you have to do, you have to present a bill. You have to create a bill which should have all the information related to that subject. Then the bill has to be presented in Lok Sabha, or it is your choice. You can present in Rajya Sabha also. You can present in Rajya Sabha. Amir, I will answer your question. It can be presented in Rajya Sabha also. It has to be presented in Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. Then it will be passed to the second house, that is Rajya Sabha. Then once the president signs it, it is given. The law can become the bill can become an act. Clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Now Amir has raised the question: what is Vidhan Sabha and Vidhan Parishad? Wait, Amir, I'll answer your question. Okay, it is not supposed to be answered here, but since you have raised a question, I'll answer it. For example, there are legislature for center level, and there is legislature for state level. Now understand, if we need to create a law for entire nation. Okay, so the bill has to be presented in Lok Sabha. From there, it will go to Rajya Sabha. Once it is passed from here, it will go to Rajya Sabha. Once it is passed from here, it will go to the Honorable President. And if President signs the bill will become act. You are clear with this. This same procedure takes for particular state as well. Okay. This same procedure takes place for particular state as okay. Now how it happens in state, law for a particular state is created through this particular state. For example, you want to create a law for Sikkim. Okay, law for Sikkim. You need to present the bill in state legislative assembly. That is Vidhan Sabha, where your CM sits. Then from here, the bill will go to State Legislative Council, that is Vidhan Parishad. Okay, but understand one thing: every state of India does not have State Legislative Council. Only few states are having State Legislative Council. If a particular state is not having a State Legislative Council, the bill has not to go to State Legislative Council. Okay, for example, the bill is presented in State Legislative Assembly, that is Vidhan Sabha. Here your CM and all leader of opposition sits. Okay. Then I'll answer Umesh's question and Brijesh's question in few moments. Just give me one moment. Okay. For example, if Sikkim is not having a state legislative council, the bill will go directly after state legislative assembly. It will directly go to the governor of state, and governor signs it. Bill will become an act. Okay. For centers level, it is Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and President. The bill will become an act. For state level, it is state legislative assembly. Okay, some states, if a particular state is having state legislative council, you can present the bill there. If it is not having, it will directly go to the governor and the bill will become an act. Now, are you clear with this? Are you clear with this?
Yes, sir.
But understand one thing. See, since you guys have asked the question, ki what is Vidhan Sabha, Vidhan Parishad, I have just explained it. Right now, we won't be getting into this topic. We will be getting into this later. Okay. We will be talking from the center's perspective only. When we are introducing the basic part of the constitution, we will be talking from center's perspective. But this will be part of your syllabus. I'll tell you where to read it. We won't complicate that. But I just wanted to explain you the concept. So I have explained. Now, Brijesh has raised the question why some state is not having state legislative council. Okay. Now, some states of India is not having state legislative council because state legislative council are created with the special request of a particular state. For example, if Sikkim wishes to have a state legislative council, they have to request it to the Parliament of India. Then it would be created, and it depends upon the population and area of that. Okay, so it is done as per the special request. Okay, it is not for every state, and you will learn this topic also in depth later. Right now, you are asking why? Because it is done as per the request of the state. All the states are not having a state legislative. Have you understood, Brijesh and Amir? Are you clear with it? Yes. Now we will go bit further. We will come back to this slide. We'll come back to this. Where was I've written? I'll write it again. See, the function of legislative is to make law. Okay, the function of legislative is to make laws. Clear? You are clear with this?
Yes, sir.
That includes Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Okay, at central. That is all what we will do today, because I want to have a continuity of the topic for tomorrow. Then only we will understand. Whatever I have taught you, just revise it. Because see, if you revise the previous day's topic, it will help you for the overall preparation. Okay, it will really help you with the preparation. And stay assured, you will understand each and every topic in a very in-depth manner. And I will tell you in all those international scenarios I'm telling now. Why I'm not making you write those scenarios? Because it's not part of your syllabus, but you need to understand it to have a general knowledge. Okay, so we will be discussing that stuff also. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Take care. Stay safe. Good night.
Thank you, sir.
What my question?
What is your question?
My question
What is your
who is the powerful in between Lok Sabha?
Okay, this was your question. Okay, this was your question. Who is powerful between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha? See, both are having their own powers. In some matters, Lok Sabha is powerful. Okay, in some matters, Lok Sabha is powerful. For example, in case of a money bill, Lok Sabha is powerful. In case of some other matters, Rajya Sabha is powerful. So you cannot say that one is powerful over other. But in some matters, Lok Sabha is powerful, and in some matters, Rajya Sabha is powerful. You cannot clearly differentiate, or you cannot clearly keep one above the other. Okay, I'll narrate you the functions of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha later. But understand, you cannot say that for the entire thing Lok Sabha is powerful, for the entire thing Rajya Sabha is powerful. Both are having their own power in their own state. Okay, for example, in case of money bill, Lok Sabha is powerful, but in case of subjects in state list, Rajya Sabha is powerful. So they have their own powers in respective areas, and we would discuss that in detail. Okay, good night.